You want to watch this episode if you're curious about how to execute being likable. Welcome to this episode of Dear Credibility Expert. And this particular question I really like. So let me read it. It says, you mentioned executing with credibility is with people knowing, liking, and trusting you. How do you execute being likable? By the way, absolutely beautiful question. Thank you so much for sharing that. All right, so credibility is the quality in which we're known, liked, and trusted. In terms of executing with credibility, I actually, in the TED Talk, we speak a little bit about it. So let's put the TED Talk up there so you can go there. In the book, Credibility Nation, I actually talk very specifically about how do you execute being known? How do you execute being likable? How do you execute being trustworthy? And on the likable stage, there actually is two components of likability that came out of the 500-person interviews. And here's the cool part. Come and join us over at Credibility Nation. What gets bundled in is you do have a course on how to come up with your CPOP, your customer reported pain. That's bundled into Credibility Nation. There's also a course on how to be likable. So how do you actually do that? So there are really two things, two components to focus on. One is sharing your stage. I call that spreading cred dust. The second is showing respect for everyone that you've agreed to meet with, showing respect by showing up when you show up. That's coming early, coming prepared, and coming with your heart. Okay, let's go back to the first one, sharing cred dust. You know, so many people have been taught, dubiously we'll say, that you don't mention your competitors' names. You don't mention other people in the field, particularly if they're doing good things, because you might lose clients. You know, you only talk about you and you talk about how great you are. You know, that is not the sign of somebody who's credible. That's not the sign of somebody who's coachable. That's not the sign of somebody who's a servant leader. If you're a servant leader and you have a CPOP that's very focused on solving your clients' issues, and you have a competitor who can, for a particular prospect that comes in, do it better than you, why do you recommend them? That prospect will come back to you at some point in time and they'll be glowing because you gave them your competitor to talk to because the competitor does it better. If not, you need to figure out how you do that better if that's your purpose, if that's what you need to do. If it's not your purpose and not what you need to do, then letting your competitor do that is a good thing. Spreading cred dust is sharing the ideas and thoughts and actions of other people. They could be your competitors. They could be peers in the field. They could be luminaries out there. They could be your clients. They could be, and fill in the blank. When you start sharing other people's ideas, it's showing that you're keeping up to speed with the marketplace, that you're figuring out what are the best practices that are out there, and you're executing the best practice. It doesn't always have to be your idea. It doesn't always have to be your ego that says, hey, I'm the best there is and I know all the answers, because that's not the right way to be credible. That's not the right way to have the integrity and the authenticity to deliver value under the trusting side, having the intent and commitment to do the right thing under being known, having the ability to be a valuable servant leader means that you're going to be spreading cred dust. You're going to be sharing the stage with other people. All right, second thing. You know, there are so many competitors out there. There's so many people out there. If you get the opportunity for a prospect to see you even for a second, but let's go the step further. You've got past all the stuff. They may have seen who you are and they've done the cursory view and they see you and they want to talk to you more. All right, well, it doesn't matter how busy you are or things that are going on. I always hear people give me excuses. This was a busy week, or this was a busy week, a busy day, or this was a busy hour. Great. How come you didn't study or look and do research a couple hours before? How come you didn't do it a couple days before? How come you didn't do it when the appointment was booked? What's appropriate is if somebody is going to spend time with you, treat them with respect. And how do you treat them with respect? You show up early. Now, one-on-one meetings, particularly when people are coming on Zoom, a minute early. If you're in person, you're physically going in person, come at least 5 minutes early. Come prepared. That means you've Googled the person's name. You've looked at how they show up on the platform, that is their platform that they typically interact with, or their platform that you normally see. Take a look and make an evaluation. You don't have to spend hours. You don't have to spend even 15 minutes or a half hour, maybe more like 5 to 10 minutes, sometimes 15 minutes if you get really excited. But know enough in the preparation so that you can get past the silly stuff and you focus on the more relevant material, right? And so what's really important is to be able to do that. And I guess probably this sounds really silly to me, but come with your heart, right? Don't come guarded and closed and wanting to be confrontational. Don't come wanting to be perfect and talk with your head the whole time. You want people to see you. You want them to see you so they can make a decision of whether or not they like you. If they don't like you for your particular role, trust me, this is a much better time that you figure that out now than later on when you're already in this financial engagement and things are not coming across well. Only 50% of the people walked into the original interview room wanting to show me their heart. This is them wanting to put their best foot forward, and they were coming with their head, not with their heart. So if you want to execute being likable, essentially the most simplistic way to think about it is to spread Credust and to show respect with those people you interact with. I would suggest you try that in your next meeting and then do it the one afterwards. And when you get to about 10 or 20 meetings where you've done that, and look back. So do that this week. When you look back at how the week went, you're going to be so amazingly surprised at how much more efficient you were and how much more robust those conversations were. So in this episode, we talked about the mechanics that are involved with actually executing on being likable. What do you do? What can you do that when you are finished with meeting with somebody, they're going to say to their friends, their partners, to other people they talk to, I like that person. That was great. This is the steps to go about doing it. And it's really two. You remember what those are? Of course you do. Feel free to give comments, feedback, ask more questions. Looking forward to getting more questions to Dear Credibility Expert. Thanks so much. Bye now.